Welcome to The Explainer, where we unpack big ideas. Today, we're diving into this incredible animated story that honestly holds a huge life lesson about trust, friendship, and, well, knowing who to trust. Let's jump right in.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our story begins in a really peaceful, harmonious place. This is where we meet our main characters, and you immediately get the sense of this idyllic little world they've built for themselves. A world founded on one simple but incredibly powerful idea: their friendship.
Now, these weren't just any ordinary cows grazing next to each other. No way. For them, friendship was everything. It was their whole identity. They were completely inseparable. And as we're about to see, that bond was way more than just companionship. It was their ultimate defense. But, of course, lurking just out of sight, there's always something. And here he is, the central conflict. A predator, watching them, hungry. And to this lion, they aren't three friends. They're one potential meal. But the lion has a problem, a very, very big one. Okay, so this is where the story gets really interesting. It's how it shows us, you can actually see it, the raw power of their unity. This isn't just some abstract concept. It's a physical reality that the lion is staring right in the face. And this phrase just sums it up perfectly. Whenever that lion even thought about approaching, they would instantly stand back to back, with their horns pointing out. They literally formed an impenetrable fortress that the lion just could not break. There was no angle of attack. He was completely shut out. Yeah, the lion figured it out pretty quick. Brute force was totally useless here. Their shared strength created this perfect 360-degree wall against any threat. It knew it could never, ever win a physical fight against them like this. And that forced the lion to completely change its strategy. So here's the crucial point. The battle shifts. It's no longer happening out in the meadow, it's happening in their minds. The lion realizes it has to stop the physical attacks and start a psychological one, aiming right for the glue that holds that fortress together. And this is the lion's great and kind of terrible insight. It understood that the cows' minds were so much more vulnerable than their combined strength. And isn't that the real tragedy here? The source of their power, their trust in each other, was also their greatest potential weakness. Now, the lion didn't rush this. It was playing the long game. It would wait, approach one cow when it was alone, and just whisper these poisonous little lies. Things like, the other one is keeping the best grass for himself, or he was saying bad things about you. It was slow, methodical, and just sowed these little seeds of suspicion. And this, of course, is where we get to the tragic turning point of the whole fable. The lion's psychological warfare. It works. And the consequences of that broken trust become immediate and devastatingly clear. I mean, just look at the stark contrast. When they were united, they were untouchable, safe, powerful, invincible. But the moment they were divided, they became vulnerable, weak, and ultimately defeated. What was once a single fortress fractured into three isolated, scared individuals. They started grazing alone, casting suspicious looks at each other, and in doing that, they made themselves the easiest targets imaginable. The lion's plan worked exactly as it had hoped. The very friendship that had been their shield was now gone, and its destruction ultimately doomed them. The thing is, the lion didn't have to get any stronger. It just had to make them weaker by turning them against each other. So, what's the ultimate takeaway from this powerful story? Well, it's a really profound lesson that applies way beyond a meadow. It speaks to the very heart of our own relationships and how we handle trust. And this is the core moral. The story isn't telling us to become cynical or unkind, not at all. It's about practicing discernment. It's about that delicate balance between having an open heart and also using your wisdom. You can be generous, you can be kind, but you don't have to turn a blind eye to someone's true intentions. This fable is just such a powerful reminder that unity with the right people is our greatest strength, and that deception often isn't a loud attack, but just a quiet whisper of doubt. And above everything else, that real trust is a precious thing that has to be carefully built and fiercely protected from anyone who might want to break it. And that leaves us with this final, really thought-provoking question to think about in our own lives. Where is that line between trust and just plain naivete? How do we keep our hearts open without leaving ourselves completely vulnerable? It's a balance we all have to find. Thanks for joining this explainer.
Follow MindMint Lab for next chapters.